Hello. This is my um another video in my series for the Mental Health Awareness Month, where I am also going to focus on something related, but something slightly different. So by this, we already know that this is the Mental Health Awareness Month, and uh, I just realized actually that this even within the Mental Health Awareness Month, this particular week, May 8th to 14th, is designated as the National Prevention Week. Um, Now, on the other hand, this is also the Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. So a time for celebrating Asian Americans. And before I proceed, just wanted to lay out this amazing package from the Smithsonian, which includes films, poems, meditations, music, and other nutrients, cultural nutrients, as they have aptly described it. This is amazing. I really wish I take some more time to go through some of these contents. All of these sources will be listed below the video, and they're also listed in the in this in this uh, in this slide. Now, obviously, both of these topics are very close to my heart, and both of these are topics that I can relate to, being an Asian American, more specifically being a Southeast Asian from India. And mental health, as I have said before, is not only my area of interest in terms of academic and research and in public health, but I also am affected directly by mental health concerns. So one of the things that struck me is how less often we talk about the intersection of multiple dimensions, right? So as an Asian American with mental health concerns, what are some unique challenges or unique barriers? And should we, it even seems to make sense that we should have designated days or weeks like Mental Health Awareness Month for Asian Americans. Although now that I think about it, now that I say it out loud, it doesn't sound exactly as it was sounding in my head. And we already have a lot of days and weeks. I mean, as long as we cannot change minds and as long as we cannot ourselves be more accepting of our diagnosis and the diagnosis of others, as long as we cannot change the frame of mind that normal, being quote unquote normal, is a relative thing and it can mean very different things in different contexts. I uh, I often wonder how useful the weeks and the days are, but at least these give us some pretext to talk about these things, right? The National Alliance for Mental Health, Mental Illness, excuse me, NAMI, they have this Together for Mental Health campaign, which has its own amazing set of resources and logos and posters that can be used. And they are not the only one, but they are one of the main organizations. They even have graphics in different languages, which I think is so important. I honestly, as an Asian American, Bengali being my first language, I would really want to create something like this in Bengali. Although we have to keep in mind that it is just not the literal translation which will make it a graphic in a different language. It also needs to be culturally relevant. Now, one of the things to keep in mind, and I'm trying my best to not make super long videos, which I have the habit of doing, is mental health. Like many cultures in Asian American cultures, and even within Asian American cultures, it can vary a lot. uh, discussing or broaching the topic of mental health, mental wellness, or the lack thereof can be culturally a taboo. And in many instances, people may even have difficulty understanding because it's not something physical that we can see. Now, that is also very sad, as much as I can see where that hesitancy or resistance comes from. Nowadays, we have very advanced technologies, which can almost show in real time the changes that are going on within our brain. Now, it is true that we need to understand the workings of the brain a lot better. We are barely scratching the surface, but fMRI images and various other things can almost show which parts of the brain are active in response to certain stimuli for people with mental health diagnosis compared with those who are not, and how that can change, how different brains react differently to different stimuli. So I definitely know that in the Asian American community, or to be more specific, among Indians who are in the US or Indians anywhere, discussions about being a neuroatypical or neurodivergent, having these diagnoses or the day-to-day struggles with this diagnosis are even more rare. And for me personally, there is another factor that comes into play, which should be a privilege, normal circumstances, because I do have the male privilege. But males are also usually much more resistant to seek help and discuss about their feelings and discuss about their challenges. So that is a whole other topic, which I'm not, which was not the focus of this video. But mainly I want us to take a moment to think about how, in addition to being aware of or being more accepting of the issues that these months and weeks are designated for, we may also want to think about the intersection of multiple issues. And I am a big fan of including different populations of interest into the conversation, so that we not only discuss a topic in isolation, but we look at it in its context. Because after all, as a social determinants of health researcher and as a social epidemiologist, I know all too well, and we all know, based on evidence, not on opinion, based on research evidence, that how we feel or our health or where we end up in life has something to do with our individual efforts and our tenacity and all that stuff. But for the most part, it is predetermined by where we are born, whether it's in the country, whether it's in the society, what is the socioeconomic status, what is the context. We know the impacts of systemic racism, among other things, here in the US, but if it is elsewhere, we can definitely talk about systemic discrimination. If it were India, it would be systemic casteism. So all of these together can interact in multiple ways to affect our health and well-being and our lives and our quality of life and all related stuff. So on that note, happy Mental Health Awareness Month yet again, happy National Prevention Week, and happy Asian Pacific American Heritage Month to everyone out there. Thank you, and I'll talk to you soon.